wabarakatuh. And very good afternoon.
Waalaikumsalam and good afternoon, Doktor.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. Okay. Masih ramai lagi yang tak join. Kita dah memang follow jadual start today 2:30 tapi baru like half of you join. Tak tahu mana yang lain pergi. Okay, so we just start lah ya. So last week I postpone class sebab last week di luar kawasan ada conference. So I have to I have two class lah with you guys. Ada endocrine and apa lagi satu organ transplant. Yeah, so my plan is for endocrine actually dia pendek je lecture je, tapi organ transplant is quite lengthy lah. We try, we see how whether we manage to finish both class ke ataupun kita terpaksa carry on the other weeks lah. I terpaksa buat kelas replacement class if I think that we cannot make it 2 days ya. Most probably kita kena buat ada kelas lah ya. I plan untuk sekalikan dengan tutorial about your case study because this is actually happen every semester, every year ya. For case study especially untuk case yang PIDS tu kan, yang breastfeeding and then premature kids tu memang biasanya student ada problems untuk jawab lah. And we need to discuss that case study ya. So mungkin kalau tak sempat habis hari ni, kita akan bring forward the class masa tutorial. And I prefer to do the tutorial face to face. InsyaAllah kalau ada kesempatan kita buat face to face lah rather than online macam ni. Okay, so tadi ada yang share PC tu, no problem, you can share PC, tapi because I need to record your attendance, try to click on the link juga lah ya, so that you punya attendance boleh record ya. Okay, so I just share my slide. Endocrine. So endocrine tak banyak, start dia dah 20 lebih saja. Okay, so let us start. Okay, MNT for endocrine disorder. So basically topik yang kita akan tengok dalam MNT for endocrine adalah hypoglycemia. This is very much related to diabetes lah ya. So saya kata endocrine dia pendek sajalah ya, tak banyak sangat hypoglycemia ya. So if you know how to manage diabetes, basically you cover this part as well lah, hypoglycemia. And then kita tengok hypothyroidism and hyperthyroidism and also pituitary disorder. Yang ini selalu juga relates dengan body weight. Ya, sometimes orang kata makan banyak tak gemuk ataupun makan sikit dah gemuk kan. So this is actually related to endocrine lah. Okay, so what is endocrine ya? Endocrine disease ni adalah diabetes mellitus is the most common. 27 million Americans have thyroid related disorder and half remain undiagnosed. Yeah, so actually it's about the same with Malaysia lah ya. Banyak yang ada thyroid related disorder but it's not. We don't diagnose it. Yeah, we take it as macam common lah. Okay, biasalah tu kan, tak naik-naik berat badan kan. Yeah, it remain undiagnosed because we don't think that it is really serious lah. Okay. And genetic factors promote the endocrine autoimmune disease, and genome-wide association studies allow identification of relevant immune response pathway. Okay, so this is our thyroid gland. Here, this is dia punya cross section. Tengok sini. Yeah. So it's actually a small butterfly shaped gland found just below the Adam's apple. Kan bawah Adam's apple kat sini. Yeah. So thyroid ni dia secrete several hormones lah ya, yang kita panggil sebagai thyroid hormones ya. Hormon yang common adalah thyroxine lah, T4 ya. So thyroid hormone dia akan dia function throughout the body ya, and it's mainly related to the metabolism, growth and also development and body temperature ya. Metabolism, growth and development and also body temperature. So we really need adequate thyroid hormone for the metabolism, and kalau untuk children it's very important for brain development. Okay. So thyroid hormone, thyroid itself, our thyroid, it controls how our body cell use energy from food. Ya, itu yang kita panggil sebagai metabolism. Yeah. So our metabolism, it will affect our body temperature, our heartbeat, yeah, and then heartbeat, temperature, and how we burn calorie. Yeah, so now you can see that banyak yang kita tengok kan kalau exercise ke apa, we also refer to our heart rate because it's related to the metabolism itself. So if you don't have enough thyroid hormone, so that your body process will slow down. So maksudnya our body will make less energy and it's actually reduce our metabolism. So itu yang kita katalah metabolism. It depends on your metabolism, whether your metabolism is high or not. Yeah. And now ada macam-macam lah dekat ada produk yang say that this product can boost the metabolism. Is it really true? Yeah. Tapi sebenarnya it relates to our thyroid gland. Okay. So thyroid gland produce thyroxine, triiodothyronine, T4 and T3 lah, and also calcitonin. Okay, so it regulates the fat and carbohydrate metabolism, body temperature, and also heart rate. Okay. So this is actually a diagram on how the function of thyroid with the pituitary and also our hypothalamus. Yeah. So supporting thyroid function is essential for promoting the metabolism and aiding normal growth and also neurological development. Yeah? So when our thyroid health suffers, the ability of the whole body to maintain the homeostasis is off balance. Okay, so kita punya thyroid gland here, it communicates with the adrenal, with the pituitary, and also with the hypothalamus glands, as well as the kidney, liver, and also skeletal muscle. Yeah? So sebab tu bila thyroid function is suboptimal, hundreds of other enzymatic process are disturbed in the body. Okay. So ini adalah hormon yang terlibat lah, ya, TSH, T3 and T4. Yeah. So our thyroid gland, it will respond to stimulation by this TSH hormone that secreted by the pituitary gland. You can see this diagram here. Yeah. Thyroid gland, our thyroid gland respond to stimulation by TSH, and TSH is secreted by the pituitary gland. So when stimulated thyroid gland, it will release two main hormone, which is T3 and also T4. Okay. So you boleh tengok kat figure ni lah, ya. Hypothalamus, it produce and secrete TRH. TRH is tyrotrophin releasing hormone. So it will travel to our pituitary gland. So it was this will release TSH. So this TSH will signal the thyroid gland to upregulate its synthetic machinery. Okay. So kalau nak lagi details, you can refer to the textbook, ya. Buku Cross tu dekat thyroid metabolism, dia ada details on lah asal macam mana mechanism of this thyroid ni. Okay. 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 So dia cakap pasal thyroid gland. Okay, so apa yang paling commonnya relate to thyroid is whether it's hypothyroidism ataupun hyperthyroidism lah. Okay, so let us look first at hypothyroidism. Yeah? So hypothyroidism kita tahu juga sebagai underactive thyroid disease. Yeah? Underactive thyroid disease, which is a very common disorder actually. Yeah? So when the people diagnosed with hypothyroidism, it means that the thyroid gland does not make enough thyroid hormone. Okay, so the symptoms include low energy, cold hands and feet, hypercholesterolemia, muscle pain, depression, constipation, and also cognitive deficit. Okay, so this Schmidt syndrome is hypothyroidism associated with other endocrine disorder. So you look at this symptom, symptoms ni macam, this is the symptoms that selalu kita rasa macam ada lah, ramai orang kat luar sana rasa macam dia rasa penat kan, lepas tu pegang tangan rasa macam sejuk-sejuk kan, and follow with other symptom as well, ya. So you might go and check lah, ya. Doktor akan order blood test untuk tengok hormone level lah, ya. So the diagnosis, ya. So untuk diagnosis they will go and test you punya TSH, you punya T4 level, ya. So usually if lower than normal, the T4 levels, it mean that it indicate that the person may have hypothyroidism, ya. Tapi ada juga yang ada level yang abnormal, contohnya macam level TSH tinggi tapi level T4 normal, ya, which is a mild hypothyroidism, ya. So kalau maybe T4 ada normal tapi TSH tinggi sikit, it can be a sign to have early stage of hypothyroidism. So we can diagnose this hypothyroidism using a blood test lah, nak tengok the level of hormone in the body. Okay. And then Hashimoto thyroiditis, yeah. So this is actually immune system attack the thyroid gland. So the most common of hypothyroidism is we call as Hashimoto thyroiditis. Yeah. So thyroiditis ni is an inflammation of the thyroid gland. Okay. So Hashimoto thyroiditis is an autoimmune disorder. Yeah. So bila ada disease ni, the body produce antibodies that attack and destroy the thyroid gland. Yeah. Other than that, thyroiditis, it may also be caused by viral infection. Yeah. So person with Hashimoto's thyroiditis, their thyroid gland enlarge and become non-functional. Yeah. So it can be identified using specific antibody tests. Yeah. So TPO or thyroid peroxidase antibody test, because means that ada immune cell, that indicate the immune system is attacking the TPO in the thyroid gland. Okay. So this is the Hashimoto thyroiditis. It is actually immune system lah that attacks the thyroid gland. Yeah. So this is the most common cause of hypothyroidism. Okay. So this diagram is actually summarize the symptoms of hypothyroidism in women. Yeah. So tengoklah symptom dia adalah brain fog, memory loss, headache, hair loss. Yeah. So this macam sign yang macam selalu orang rasa dia ada. Yeah. Muscle pain, joint pain, dry skin disorder, weight gain, yeah. Okay. However, there are other symptom yang kita tak boleh buat main lah. Macam contohnya when we say that there is hair loss, yeah? enlarged tongue, yeah. They have menstrual irregularities, infertility, yeah. Lepas tu mungkin akan ada chronic infection, tangan sentiasa rasa sejuk kan, yeah. So it may indicate hypothyroidism. Kalau setakat rasa macam tak boleh jawab exam, memory banyak loss, no energy, itu maybe you tak cukup makan lah kan, tak cukup rehat kan. Tapi kalau banyak daripada symptoms ni ada, it may be sign of hypothyroidism lah, ya. Okay. So the triggers of hypothyroidism include adrenal state, stress, and also oxidative stress. Yeah? So we call it as adrenal fatigue. Yeah? So adrenal fatigue ni macam adalah collection of sign and symptom, yeah, that results when the adrenal gland function below the necessary level. Yeah. So selalunya kalau very intense, prolonged stress, yeah, ataupun lepas acute ataupun chronic infection, kan, it can trigger the adrenal stress. Okay. And then aging, because the hypothyroidism ni they increase with age. Menopause, ya. So sebab tu selalu kita kata orang dah menopause, dah aging kan, dia punya metabolism is slowing down. Yeah, this is actually relate to your hypothyroidism. Ya. Bukanlah dia hypothyroidism, maksudnya dia punya thyroid gland tu dah wear and tear kan, dia dah kurang functioning. Ya. And then pregnancy and also environmental factors. Environmental factors such as excessive iodine, medication, infection, smoking, and also stress. Okay. So chronic adrenal stress, so actually constant tension will stress your adrenal function and may cause a symptoms. Yeah. So
Nanti ambilkan tu.
our adrenal gland,
Kettle.
it have many responsibility. Yeah. Including responding to stress, responding to the situation. Yeah. So it actually gives us energy and also strength to fight or flight in crisis situation by pumping adrenaline and cortisol throughout the body to mobilize resources for this effort. Yeah? But two big problems in our modern world have thrown a wrench into this well-tuned survival-based system. Yeah? So first, macam kita punya badan ni tak boleh nak detect between true life-threatening danger dengan juga emotionally driven and self-induced stressor. Contohnya macam bila kita kerap sangat rasa stress or we feel that sangat stress sebab zaman sekarang kan most of us are fragile kan, banyak senang trigger kan, so our body will react physiologically as if we are in real danger. So our adrenals will get the call. So that is number one, because it's our body lah, we cannot differentiate between the real stress and also the emotional stress. And problem two is because today's stress is continuous lah. Sentiasa stress, restless, relentless. So it's a constant companion lah of the adrenal gland, must work overtime to keep up. So that is how stress, it can create imbalance in our adrenal function. Our body sentiasa rasa penat. So with this chronic adrenal stress, it's actually affect the communication between the brain and the hormone secreting gland. So it will increase the thyroid binding protein activity, decrease conversion of T4 to active forms of T3, interfere with the detoxification pathway, cell loss sensitivity to thyroid hormone, and weakens the immune barrier of the digestive tract, lungs, and brain. So that is why kalau health, stress, food, and behavior is very much related. Okay. Now let us look at the nutrients and also thyroid health. Okay. So this is the MNT lah sebenarnya kan, bila cakap pasal thyroid, how to maintain our thyroid health. So this is iodine, iron, selenium, vitamin A, carbohydrate, calories, and also glycogens. So this is actually yang mainly relates with thyroid health lah. Basically it's about the healthy food lah, tapi yang kalau nak discuss further, we can look at this iodine. Because thyroid function is dependent on the presence of iodine. Iodine yang diperlukan untuk manufacture the thyroid hormones, the T3 and also T4. However, the balance of iodine in the body is critical because deficiency and excess iodine are both associated with thyroid dysfunction. So basically, we cannot consume very large amount of iodine dan kita tak boleh tak ambil langsung because both deficiency and excessive, dia ada kaitannya dengan thyroid dysfunction. So apa contoh makanan yang high iodine? So it's basically macam makanan laut lah, seaweed, cod fish, dairy product also high in iodine, iodized salt, tuna, eggs, so that is kind of food lah that is high in iodine. So you just take it in moderation lah unless you've been diagnosed with thyroid disorder. Okay, so that is what iodine. Okay, and then lagi yang penting kita guys ni selenium. Contohnya selenium. So selenium is essential for the conversion of T4 to T3. T4 to T3. It is also critical untuk enzyme 5-deiodinase which converts the T4 and T3, T4 to T3, and reduce the thyroid antibody formation. Yeah, so selenium and iodine, they support each other lah, because they are needed for the production of the hormone. Okay, so the excellent sources include sardine, apa lagi, selenium, chicken, eggs, nuts, also high in selenium, nuts semua lah, So kalau you all pergi, you kerja dekat pharmacy for example, I'm not, you are not pharmacist lah, but I noticed that many of our nutritionists, they have been hired in certain private pharmacies dekat supermarket, dekat mall kan, you akan nampak mostly ada. Kalau you dapat masuk situ kan, of course lah, you kerja mana-mana pun you akan dapat experience kan, tapi kalau you kerja kat situ, you akan dapat experience in learning lot of nutrients yang kita kata as give a functional properties lah. Memang lah all nutrients ada functional property, maknanya you akan learn banyak lah. Macam you akan tengok okay, this is a vitamin that is high in selenium, so it says that it can promote sekian, but how is the mechanism? So sebenarnya this is how they relate lah, sebab those that is high in selenium and also iodine, they may promote the thyroid function, so this thyroid, it can boost up the metabolism, so it can relate to weight loss for example, so banyak lagi lah. Kalau you dapat kerja dekat company macam tu, you akan belajar banyak benda in terms of knowing all this relation between nutrients and also health. And this is actually benda yang bukan, kalau dietitian you takkan tengok sampai situ lah, because this is a very details lah, and we are not promoting any supplement pun, kita mainly cakap about healthy food, tapi ni kalau you want to go into details, this is what you can learn lah, the metabolism of each of the nutrients. Okay, so this is about the selenium, iodine, selenium, and then other than that, macam calories and carbohydrate ni, actually we can relate it with body weight lah, because you know that thyroid also relates with our body weight. Okay, and then vitamin A is also involved in production and also secretion of thyroid hormone. Same with kalau tadi same with selenium lah, it assists in converting the T4 to T3. It can also normalize the TSH, and aids iodine uptake by thyroid. So vitamin A kita boleh dapat dekat color vegetables lah, macam carrot, sweet potato kan, dekat dark leafy greens vegetables, also we can find vitamin A. Okay, and then ni goitrogens. What is goitrogens? So goitrogen pula adalah compounds that interfere with the normal function of the thyroid gland. So actually kalau goitrogen ni, it make it more difficult for the thyroid to produce hormones that your body needs for normal metabolic function. Ada kat sini. Yes, here. Goitrogen is anti-thyroid activity caused by inhibition of the TPU. Okay, so goitrogen, it can be found in cauliflower, turnips, radish, mustard seed, etc. lah, in cruciferous vegetables. So basically kalau goitrogen ni, it make it difficult lah untuk thyroid produce hormone. Okay, tapi kalau makan berlebihan lah, so dia macam pasal cakap pasal tyrosine ion compete with iodine for uptake by the thyroid glands. So isoflavones, genistein, and they can inhibit the activity of TPU. So enlargement of thyroid gland, that we also known as goiter. Kalau dulu kita, kalau bahasa kampung, bahasa pasar kita panggil sebagai beguk, which is where the term goitrogen comes from. Okay. So sebab kalau you tengok goitrogen, it found in many vegetables. So that is why we hypothesize lah, kita cakap that certain that substance in some vegetables, it may affect the thyroid function when consumed in excess. And when consumed in excess ni, actually it depends on person itself lah, macam mana dengan dia punya hormone level, how the body metabolize. Ada orang dia makan okey je, ada orang dia akan dapat goiter. Okay, so that is about hypothyroidism. Okay, so kita tengok ni je MNT pasal hypothyroidism tadi ada tak? Ada, itu je lah. So basically kalau tengok pasal hypothyroidism tadi, this is the MNT lah, benda-benda yang you kena tengok lah. So it's actually kita kalau you dapat patient yang diagnosed with hypothyroidism, you look at what is the issue sebenarnya. Adakah isu dia disebabkan dia ambil excessive iodine ataupun very low iodine, or we can promote it to take to increase dia punya selenium intake. Basically it's actually healthy food, and we look also at the goitrogens as well lah, kalau dia memang ada excessive intake of certain vegetable. However, the most common issue when we see hypothyroidism patient is related to their calories and also carbohydrate intake, because it contribute to excessive weight gain. And you look at back here the symptoms of hypothyroidism, kat sini dia masalah weight gain here. So sebab tu selalu yang kalau biasanya refer kepada kita adalah because of this, weight gain, some of them they have weight gain, and then it's also related with infertility, infertility nanti sama dengan polycystic lah, infertility, so they want to control their body weight kan, at the same time they want to improve dia punya thyroid level kan, so that is how we can help lah by referring to this MNT. What is the tips, apa yang kita boleh provide dekat dia, at the same time helps her to control dia punya body weight, and it's not easy for them because they have the thyroid issue. Okay. Okay, next let us look at the polycystic ovary syndrome. Okay, PCOS. PCOS, sometimes saya dengar student sebut PCOS lah, PCOS lah. So it's actually PCOS lah, polycystic ovary syndrome. So this is also one common yang kita biasa dengar among women. So it affects 3% to 12% of women during the childbearing years, usually associated with enlarged ovaries with multiple cysts, and characterized by reproductive issues and also menstrual irregularities. So symptoms include acne, excessive or abnormal hair distribution, obesity, and also sleep apnea. So the symptoms of polycystic yang common dekat women, if we can see that most of them they will have like overweight or obesity, and also abnormal menstrual irregularities lah, so women will know about this kan, and other hormone issues yang lain lah, but it is always prominent and became a major issue if the polycystic it relates with infertility as well. Bukanlah kita kata orang polycystic dengan infertility, no, but it is related each other lah, so biasa yang kita nampak dekat klinik kan, women start to treat their polycystic when it's difficult for them to conceive. Usually waktu tu lah. Tapi macam kalau you orang muda-muda lagi kan, you experience these symptoms, you rasa memang ada menstrual irregularities, you might check, maybe it's not polycystic, maybe another issue, so you can check daripada awal lah, dah tahu apa issue dia. Okay, so how can polycystic relates with nutrition management is, first is obesity. Like I mentioned tadi, most of the polycystic patient, most of them they have issues with weight, so when the patient comes to you, their obesity, apa yang kita akan refer, kita akan pergi refer kepada management obesity management lah, macam apa MNT for weight management, so kita tailor dekat isu situ lah, kalau dia kata reduce weight, obesity lah, and then they also might have issue on insulin resistance. So we look at dia punya biochemical data, ada tak masalah on insulin resistance, how is their blood glucose profile,
Berapa?
So here apa treatment
Berapa bagi
refined carbohydrate. This is a suggestion you can also refer to the MNT for diabetes macam dia manage walaupun kita taklah apply diabetes tu, tapi kat situ kita boleh tengok guideline lah. So basically we restrict refined carbohydrate. So dia tak payah ambil langsung gula manis kan, gula manis, gula ringkas, and then increase fiber intake.
Bayar sikit
Night. Small and also frequent meals and low carbohydrate diet.
Aku blastkan.
So that is for obesity and insulin resistance. So if that is the memang minta je control weight lah kalau boleh.
Ini perbuatan haram.
Apa kita punya aim untuk reduce weight and how to achieve that weight reduction. So that is the key lah and we can see that patients pun ramai je juga yang bila dia dia obesity and then dia just control dia punya sugar intake dia punya refined carbohydrate so it can help with their weight loss. And then how about if the patient comes with low serum vitamin D? Kalau ada low vitamin D, so doctor will prescribe with vitamin D3 supplement. So macam nak tahu ada low vitamin D, actually doktor akan buat blood test lah So if it is necessary, there will be supplemented with vitamin D. This is regarding the infertility, right? Kita can use short-term NAD, hypothyroidism, thyroid hormone replacement, and also increase food or supplement with iodine and also selenium. So basically yang banyak relate dengan kita adalah obesity and also insulin resistant lah. And kalau kita tengok memang ada hypothyroidism, we can encourage them, teach them to take foods that is rich in iodine and also selenium. So actually nutrition treatment for PCOS is actually really depends on the condition of the patient. Apa masalah dia datang sebab some patient they been diagnosed with PCOS tapi berat badan dia normal je, tak ada pun masalah berat badan kan. So we can ask about their sugar lah, ada insulin resistant tak, mungkin belajar banyak sugar intake ataupun mungkin memang tak ada masalah tu tapi when we look at the diet history kan, boleh nampak dia memang very low iodine intake so we can promote them to increase their iodine intake etc lah. So management for PCOS is really mainly depends on the condition of the patient, but from my experience most of the patient with PCOS that refer to dietitian is due to their obesity. Memang for weight management. Okay. So ini sama sahajalah sama je macam tadi jugalah. Okay. Then we look at the hyperthyroidism. So hyperthyroidism, tadi hypothyroidism is Hashimoto. This is hyperthyroidism is also called as grave disease. So grave disease is an autoimmune disease in which the thyroid is diffusely enlarged and also overactive. So with hyperthyroidism, it means that our thyroid is producing an excessive amount of thyroid hormones. So antara simptom dia macam puffy and bulging eyes, anxiety, sentiasa rasa berdebar, difficulty sleeping and also goiter. So the excessive thyroid hormone will cause metabolic imbalance, and we can diagnose this by using a thyroid stimulating immunoglobulin test lah. Okay. So this is a symptom of ini gambar dah orang yang ada hyperthyroidism So this is puffy eyes and enlarged eyes. So the thyroid is enlarged lah. Okay. So medical management, this is the medical management which is include drugs. So goal of drug therapy is to prevent the thyroid from producing hormone. So this is the name of the drugs. Or they can use radioactive iodine to kill the thyroid cells and surgery to remove the thyroid. Okay. So managing imbalances of the hypothalamus pituitary thyroid axis is to provide adequate precursor for the formation of T4. Okay. Reduce the anti-thyroidal antibodies, improve conversion of T4 to T3, enhance T3 influence of mitochondrial bioenergetics and monitor use of botanical products. So apa yang kita kena tahu kat sini ya, here if you can see that here, improve the conversion of T4 to T3 and monitor use of botanical product. This is the issue bila on the vitamin, bukanlah issue ya, I mean that you can enhance your knowledge by reading the kalau you tengok dekat insert of the vitamin ni, the supplements in the market kan, yang kata yang especially focusing on iodine, selenium macam I cerita tadi lah they promote on certain things, but it's actually due to this effect lah. The conversion of T4, T3, the precursor, and so use of some botanical products. So they say that this can actually increase your metabolism or slow down your metabolism. Siapa nak slow down metabolism kan, basically they can improve your metabolism, etc. So it's actually by these things lah. So this is actually kalau you refer balik kepada tadi yang diagram yang awal-awal tadi yang daripada hypothalamus pituitary thyroid tu, basically in managing the imbalance ni is by tackling the pus tu lah kat mana kita nak tengok kat situ untuk reduce dia punya action. Okay, so we monitor the use of botanical product as well lah. So kalau orang yang ada hypothyroidism ni dia terbalik dengan orang yang ada hypothyroidism tadi. Okay, so managing ni sama juga macam tadi, we use caution with supplement and maintain vitamin sufficiency. Okay, so that is look specific to the nutrients. Okay, so factors that promoting thyroid health, we consider protein at 0.8. This is actually normal recommendation for protein, and then iodine if autoimmune disease rule out. So ini sama lah, iodine, selenium, zinc, and also this kind of vitamin. Google steroids ni from Google extract that can say that is promoted to improve thyroid health lah. So berapa banyak nak ambil benda-benda ni, protein, iodine, selenium, zinc, vitamin. So if you encourage your patient to ambil balanced food, basically dia akan dapat yang normal recommendation lah. Tapi kalau memang nak focus on thyroid health because dia been diagnosed with hypothyroidism atau ada polycystic ke, so we can promote them to slightly increase dia punya intake of iodine, selenium, zinc, and also vitamin. So because this is that it can promote our thyroid health. Okay, baru banyak nak ambil amount dia tak ada kat sini. Dia cakap increase the intake lah, especially kalau you notice that memang dia punya intake tu sikit kita tak letak berapa banyak nak ambil. Kalau kita letak berapa amount dia, seolah-olah macam semua dia ambil vitamin je lah kan. Okay, so apa tadi, this one is we consider the intake. This is the list of food that we reduce or eliminate. Gluten, processed soy, excessive uncooked goitrogenic foods, and also excessive simple carbohydrate. Okay, so kenapa nak kena reduce benda-benda ni? Gluten. Why gluten? What do you understand about gluten? Anybody? Biasa kita dengar kan gluten sampai ada orang tanya, memang kena avoid gluten ke ya? Apa gluten teruk sangat? Why is gluten? Okay, I give you sekarang 4-6. Okay, I give you 2 minutes. I give you 2 minutes. All of you please Google what is the relation of gluten with health. Nanti saya akan panggil untuk you all explain. Mungkin 3 orang kot akan explain about gluten. So 2 minutes from now you can Google about gluten and health, and please nanti saya akan panggil nama untuk you briefly explain to me what is the relation of gluten and health. Okay, so 2 minutes from now.
Okay, doktor. Gluten Ya Allah, habis bateri pula dah. Ah.
Okay, about gluten and health. So kita nak student lah pula ajar kan. Okay, sikitnya dah 38 orang je yang datang kelas ni. Okay. Mungkin I boleh tanya Aimi lah kot. Aimi Dalila. Aimi dengan Ashikin kan. Aimi, Ashikin lah, Ashikin share dengan Aimi kan. So maybe you can discuss together kan. So terangkan dekat kita pasal gluten and also health. Why? Ya, apa very bad ke gluten ni, or anything that you want to say about gluten?
Hi doktor.
Yes, hi.
Sekejap doktor. Korang tutup situ.
Orang mana ni? Okay.
Kalau apa yang saya jumpa, kalau patient yang ada hypothyroidism, dia tak digalakkan makan gluten. Bukan, yang ni saya jumpa yang ada autoimmune condition, such as Hashimoto thyroiditis tu.
Okay.
Gluten can trigger inflammation and lead to gut dysbiosis. So kira eliminating gluten ni dapat reduce symptoms and alleviate the symptoms lah, macam tu.
Okay, lagi ada penambahan lagi? Itu je?
Aimi.
Yang saya baca, kalau orang tu makan gluten, antibody dalam badan tu dapat react dekat gluten tu sebab protein structure gluten sama dengan structure of thyroid. So high level of antibodies. Macam kurangkan antibody punya level, dapat kurangkan symptoms thyroid ni. Macam jawapan Shiki.
Ini baca kat mana ini? Baca dekat journal ke ataupun Google orang tulis?
Healthline.
Healthline. Okay. Okay, thank you Aimi and Ashikin. Okay, kita panggil lagi 2 orang Siapa lagi? Kita dengar jawapan for us to discuss. Hey, si ada yang dah live ni. Apa you all ni? Terus takut. Okay. Susah lah nampak. Tak nampak nama lah kat tepi ni. Kejap ya. Cari nama sekejap. Mungkin kita boleh tengok Fatin Aisyah ada? Fatin Aisyah. Fatin Aisyah ada? Tak ada juga, diam je. Cinderella ada? I suka nama ni, Cinderella. Are you there, Cinderella? Pun tak ada juga ke? You all ada depan PC ke? Tak ada ni.
Tak ada.
Ada doktor, cuma internet mungkin.
Okay, internet mungkin.
Garang tak
Ada tak? Ada tak orangnya? You all sekarang kat mana? Kat rumah ke ataupun dekat college? Most of you kat college kan? You all datang
college.
kan? You all you all tengah face data collection sekarang ni. Ada tak Cinderella ada? I want lagi answer untuk discuss pasal gluten ni. This is an issue tau, gluten ni, sebab banyak orang ada pendapat macam-macam pasal gluten. So is it really you need to avoid gluten ke ataupun tidak? This is not only for autoimmune sahaja ya. Okay, wifi kat college like you all ada masalah wifi, masalah juga ya kalau kita buat online class ni ya. I would love to have physical class with you sebab sekarang COVID pun macam dah tak COVID. I rasa most of us infected already.
COVID macam tak COVID.
Tapi nak find pergi ke kelas nak kumpulkan semua orang ya. Nantilah ya, maybe this semester aku last kita buat online. Hopefully after this we can go to normal je semua ya. Tapi lama-lama dah biasa buat online ni, it's very convenient for me jugalah kan, duduk je kat office kan sambil mengajar ya. Tapi kalau tahu you orang ramai yang ada isu, is not good lah ya. Takut nanti banyak yang tertinggal pula. Okay. So Aisyah like juga internet. So you can write juga Aisyah. Aisyah yang tadi namanya. Fatin Aisyah. Okay. So siapa yang tak ada masalah internet? I nampak ada seorang lelaki tadi. Hilang dah. Muhammad Nur
Ashraf.
Nur apa ni
Ashraf.
Muhammad Ashraf. Okay, thank you. Okay, Ashraf. Do you have answer, Ashraf? Good. Terbuka mic. I like this.
Suka betul.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam.
This one saya ada baca ni sikit.
Okay.
Kalau ikutkan, kalau around the world dia cakap around 200 conditions got related with gluten ni. Tapi sebenarnya kalau ikutkan memang setiap orang react differently lah dengan gluten ni. Dan kebiasaannya memang sebenarnya gluten ni sebenarnya tak memberikan dia nothing inherently unhealthy lah about gluten. Unless certain people tu memang diagnosed dengan celiac disease ke non-celiac gluten sensitivity. Yang itu memang mungkin kena avoid food yang ada gluten.
Okay, nice answer. Okay, so cukup lah. Okay, cukup lah Aisyah dengan Aimi dengan Shikin tadi dah bagi answer. Yeah. So about gluten ni, kau cakap pasal gluten ni, there's a lot of thing to discuss lah sebenarnya. Because dia macam antara mitos and the scientific behind that. Yeah. Sebab macam yang Ashraf cakap tadi, okay, dia punya jawapan kalau those yang memang ada celiac disease, so yes, dia memang kena avoid gluten lah because dia punya badan tak boleh nak digest, tak boleh nak process that gluten lah ya. Tapi kalau untuk orang yang tak ada apa-apa isu sebenarnya, kalau dia avoid gluten and then dia tak ganti dengan makanan lain kan, so they may put their body at the risk for deficiency. Ya. Tapi banyak juga study ya, walaupun it's not a clinical study lah, tapi clinical study pun ada juga, tapi maksud I evidence lah ya, evidence yang masih tak ada evidence yang menyatakan memang kita kena avoid gluten because gluten will promote harm to our body. Ya, walaupun ada small study yang dah memang jumpa bahawa excessive gluten ni it will trigger the production of immune disorder lah, our immune akan react ya, so that kita akan dapat gut, dia lebih relates kepada gut lah ya, gut issues ya. So that is about gluten. Tapi kalau macam orang tanya kita kan, perlu ke kita reduce gluten, so jawapannya tak perlu kalau you all tak ada apa-apa masalah. Tapi ya, this is bukan I ajar you all lah, this is from what I read ya, bila I attend mana-mana banyak seminar kan, apa yang jawapannya, and I think I agree with that. Tapi kalau ada kemampuan untuk reduce gluten intake, kemampuan tu I mean in terms of you have the knowledge, when you reduce gluten intake you can you boleh ganti dengan makanan lain yang provide same vitamin kan. So macam kalau you tak ambil langsung tepung roti for example kan, kat situ kita tahu ada kaya dengan vitamin kan, tapi you boleh ambil daripada sumber lain, and then you have the money. Kalau kita tengok dekat Jaya Grocer kan, semua gluten free product kan, nak biskut yang tak ada gluten kan mahal kan. You have the money, so you boleh try for it lah, because eventually walaupun dia mungkin lah it's not significant, but it may have an impact, but the impact is not significant. That's why, because tak ada evidence lagi. If you have the privilege, then you can choose to avoid that. But then it's not necessary, because there is no such evidence to say that you must reduce the gluten. However, orang yang ada celiac disease memang tak boleh lah. And orang yang ada thyroid issue, jawapan yang Shikin dengan Aimi bagi tadi is almost correct. It's because of that lah. Spesifiknya kalau lagi details kena baca lagi details dalam buku sebab it may interfere with the antibody. So kalau orang yang ada thyroid issue, dia boleh we suggest them to reduce or eliminate the gluten. So macam tadi kita tengok kan, factors yang ada issues dengan thyroid ni is also include age. So makin tua, mungkin dulu dia tak ada masalah, tapi sekarang dia dah tua kan, dia punya metabolism slowing down kan, and then dia dah issue dengan menopause, and it may benefit for them lah, for the elderly perhaps, also to reduce their intake of gluten and also processed food. It takes everything in moderation lah, because this is also to promote our thyroid health. Okay, so itulah pasal kalau macam pasal kita punya kerja ni kan, because we our field, we deal with clinical human kan, kita tak boleh nak cakap memang kena tak boleh ambil, sebab there is no such really evidence that saying good evidence that saying you must reduce the gluten intake. Okay, tapi ini adalah suggestion lah kalau orang yang memang ada issues thyroid, ini benda yang dia boleh eliminate lah, other than selain yang kita tengok benda-benda lain tadi lah yang macam main issues, calorie, carbohydrate, protein, etc. Okay. Now, just look at the other endocrine disease. So, other endocrine disease including Cushing syndrome and also Addison disease. Ini adalah macam too much cortisol. Cushing syndrome is too much cortisol. So exogenous form due to steroids or similar medication. So symptoms include weight gain, depression, bruising and also muscle loss. So treatment is actually weight management. So sometimes some people, they are due to steroid intakes. Steroid intakes due to certain disease lah kan. So dia akan dapat weight gain so this is why they are referring to us lah, is because to manage their weight gain. And then Addison disease, this is actually primary adrenal insufficiency. The symptoms are fatigue, low blood pressure, anorexia, nausea, darkening of the face and skin, and excess perspiration requires salt repletion. So basically nutrition treatment is depends on the symptoms. Dia continue anorexia, poor eating. So that is also about weight management lah. So this is other endocrine disease. Okay, so the focal point here is thyroid and related disorders have stages beginning with genetic susceptibility, environmental triggers, and active autoimmunity, followed by metabolic derangements and overt symptoms of disease. So treatment includes medication, surgery, and MNT. And MNT tadi I tak banyak sentuh berapa kalori ke apa, because it really depends on the symptoms, and all of the symptoms actually we already touch lah sikit-sikit dekat setiap MNT yang you belajar macam mana nak manage that. Okay, so thyroid has relationship with hypothalamic, pituitary, immune, adrenal, and cardiovascular functions that affect clinical, cellular, and molecular outcomes. So early identification and nutrition intervention are critical to managing disorders of the hypothalamus pituitary thyroid axis. Yeah? So that's all untuk topik endocrine disease. Do you have any problem? Any issue? I think I always think that topics of endocrine is quite straightforward lah, because it really depends on the case. Yeah. So contohnya lah, bagi case tadi people diagnosed with hypothyroidism. Yeah. Bagi case tadi tu cuma pasal pasal respiratory kan. Bagi contoh kes pasal hypothyroidism. So basically you kena tahulah apa itu hypothyroidism atau apa itu hyperthyroidism. Kalau kata dia ada high level of TSH kan, and low level of T4, one is actually diagnosed. So dia diagnosed with hypothyroidism for example. Yeah. So what is the sign and symptom? So you can discuss the sign and symptom. Yeah. And then kita akan bagi case dia, body weight dia berapa kan, apa food intake dia. So you manage from that. So itu yang relate dengan hypothyroidism. Sama juga macam kalau cerita pasal polycystic, so we give you sign and symptom, we give you biochemical results kan, and then tengoklah balik berapa dia punya BMI, kita tengok balik dia punya diet intake, adakah dia kena tackle dia sugar intake ke, kan, ataupun jadi issues with carbohydrate ke kan, untuk kalori. So basically we tackle on the symptoms. Yeah, that is about endocrine disorder. So macam ni awal-awal dah cakap, endocrine mainly related dengan diabetes, and diabetes dia kita belajar khas lah diabetes kan. Okay, so that is all about MNT for endocrine disorder. 23 slide sahaja. Okay, so do you want to continue with organ transplant ataupun nak bawa ke next time? What do you say? Dah sejam? Nak sambung ke nak buat replacement class?
Sambung.
Sambung Betul?
Betul, sambung.
Okay, ada seorang je jawab tapi tak apa, seorang mewakili semua. Okay, sekejap ya, kita tengok MNT for organ transplant. Let me share my slide. Kita break kejap dalam 2-3 minit ya, dan kita terus continue with MNT for organ transplant.